knowledge you would ever read, implement and live up to forever. 87. Avoid this. Read the below text as a whole. It's a waste of your time. Progress immediately to the increased letters instructions, implement them urgently. Execute those immediately upon reading / all rest are the remaining, important for you lessons. Pause after each breaking point, rethink or implement, adapt to your needs. Then, read the rest when it's only completed /as, or when you might need it. 142. The last, those, form, in your mind. You always know what you have to do / must find ways to overcome and do it. 143. With particularly fuck it / all type of approach / which is prevalent, commonly after the magic number, at least, in the very beginning or after each failure. You have to build / develop those abilities, in you, first / being basically possible, thanks to the law. 144. Including the trauma-based experiences in the womb / premature birth etc. 145. Even without any mistakes / that is with a cable across the face. There is clear line between a spat and trauma / which continued up until I've escaped or just couldn't take more. I've cried nearly all my childhood, due to it. It's more to it, but some experiences don't want to become permanently erased / read, mentioned in this publication. 146. I was designed for the special school, but mother paid and I was accepted to the elementary school. 147. Adding to it, Lego, toy building blocks that I've received from an aunt, a castle. 148. It was believable, after reaching the first financial goal / then I always believed it. It's possible for me, just as. 149. It only happened, that is worked once / nobody ever believed, long before the cell phones were invented. It happened, for real. Later I was told, it's impossible, that is can't be done and I'm stupid, as a child. When you take the process, you're under the rule of laws. You get 142. The idea, you realize it. You have to persevere take all the help given by laws and execute the work flawlessly up to the very end, at your personal best / obligatorily, urgently. It's all / plus. You have to secure additionally your survival, easy, despite not initially, temptations, lack of belief, environment, your lack of knowledge that is wisdom, skill, programming, number 0.1, etc. 143. And time. What you want in life is determined mostly by your childhood. 144. The experience is a latter. It carries programming received by the mentors, those older parents, that is careers of the child. Number 0.1. I've received unconditional love by the mother, at my first time. I was always told I was stupid and they were right / punished for everything, even for the slightest unconscious mistake that is beaten or thrown on the head with losing of the consciousness / it's all I remember. 145. Mostly. I was kicked out of kindergarten. I've never passed 0 class, preschool. 146. I didn't know what was a word on the letter O. I didn't know what the word means, didn't understood language. However, I've always could repeated everything and learned fast. I was sick, to the limits, almost couple years in a row, in that time, fighting all the time for survival. Ridiculed, punished, beaten by peers, laughed, basically, all the time at every occasion for years. I've had always none. I was always the last to have anything. I knew everything about computers, but never had one, as those magazines for 0.4, which were bought. I've read them all the time / few times, in a row. It's basically the only thing I've had. 147. Back then, I've always wanted to be a businessman, not because I've wanted it to be but because it was required for me to be someone important, and those were the people who were. It couldn't however be just like that. I always strive for more because what is in your life for fun, to be an average / or better than everyone around? It has to be big time, so I've always wanted to be a billionaire. 148. It would be a score. Later, when the size of want/desire was defined, nobody would even dare to think. I've had luck, and so I believed. In that time, I've experienced my first miracle. I've called my mommy working as a teacher in school from the plastic toy by selecting on it a number, and with a child's belief, wanted to talk with her, which happened. 149. You've probably had once too. It confirms this reality is an illusion to blind you from the truth. However, I've learned all the time, willingly. Not because I've wanted, but because it was for me required. I was still stupid, ridiculed and laughed / punishment continued, but there was a hope for a better future, to be accepted. I've learned, continually, I've invested the time, to do the work, and it had to be done first, before I could ever take anything else. I've passed with a distinction all the classes, except the last one / in the elementary school. I've scored 40/40 probably as an only person in a whole state at the time. At the end of it, the most important knowledge you would ever read, implement and live up to forever. 88. 150 Ability to read unconscious signals, on the fly / developed, backed by the extensive knowledge. 151 And that I'm exploiting the state for X year, getting the free for poor 540 allowance, each 3 or more months. Not working a day, in a job. I've done a side task because somebody asked to translate, and I've done it willingly to just help, but I've been paid 50 for an hour, over of my work, to be precise. 152 In fact, money received are immediately spent to nearly a zero, to not be tempted by any, and use 100% time and efforts for the goal / when it's required. It's how it is, to ensure clearness of mind and adapt everything, completely to it. Cease to eat pomelos now, as I've found a GM variety. I didn't like the fruit somehow, but it wasn't enough to confirm my suspicions / it smelled nicely but falsely, and a sensation of the tongue, followed that is a warning signal, of the body, minute later. If there is a one commercially available poisoned fruit in the world, it would be on my plate / delivered by the laws. I just live too long, to don't see it coming. I test every fruit, forever the same way. It's a learned habit / number 3.29a, that is listen to them, touching, sensing, the same way / organic or not. I've could died, the next time in a row / never to allow myself be killed by the same laws who protect me. You would develop the same patterns, if you would only see and experience what I'm bypassing. 100% organic, no second measures. Finally, later perhaps you would see, on the news, that few died, like with the case of cucumbers in Germany, or poisoned by bacteria or something. It just wasn't right, and it's hard to explain it, as it didn't match the pattern. If you don't believe it's real, even the producers of the food wondered why few of the packages were only poisoned in their whole batch, like a ton or more, when I've sent them always back for a refund. Body reactions don't lie either. You've probably eaten already something GM poison, that is canola oil, to experience it by yourself, if you focus on them, to be able to spot it. It all happens for real, as it's a testing ground to prepare you / laws, rule the experience. Your reality is only for you. Experiences would be brought to your reality with a role, to prepare you. You're not always right, like me in the story above, because I was poisoned by eating a 1/4 single bulb nuke organic garlic for a third day / just insanely strong batch, from an organic, permaculture cultivation / but I've wrote it purposely, to show you shouldn't ever believe anyone and test precisely what they've said, to learn the knowledge and understanding to progress in the result. However, I've ceased today to eat non-GMO, and you should follow too. As the tests have ended, everything written before was truth, except the pomelo wasn't GM variety. I was wrong, you would be many times too, but you have to learn to see those mistakes, and to never stop admitting it to yourself. Avoid to sink deeper in them. Take the lessons and go further. Sometimes there are external factors, and focusing on one blocks your route or might get you in a serious trouble / never stop to think, compare and share. You have to stop to believe me, anybody, and test it all by yourself / for your own knowledge. Forever / progress is only possible due to it. I was vomiting 3 days after. Now I've spit with the blood / as a result of its consumption. That is garlic. I ate a 100% organic product, after which I've had a sensation of tiny pain. It had to be returned back. It was probably a result of there. It was only possible because of the characteristics I've developed, not the intelligence, which is low in any of those tests. That is the score of disabled / in honesty, 100% score higher, but because of the traits of character it required to develop, to overcome each obstacle. It wasn't given, it wasn't received. Nobody helped me, I've done it all by myself. Teachers were only to do their job of checking those to repeat results. It's all learned. You've learned probably also. You can't or don't believe in yourself because others didn't make it and you've accepted their reality for yourself. It has got unbearable consequences at the late years of your life / it's confirmed through experiences, observation, but you have to focus to see it for yourself. You won't have more because you've done nothing / to those who take any steps towards their goals. The latter can only win in life, and they would. It's not for me to judge, as it's only your life, but relatively few truly accept their faith and it's seen. Few really know that I've developed abilities to read all the body language of a person, combined with massive amount of other information, and based on it, I know everything. It's enough of an itch in the place to know what you know. I know I'm speaking with a person who is selling information to the cops. 150, informer. Every ability is being developed continually and more thinking is attributed to it than it's believable to believe. Scratch on the tone of your voice or your reaction tells me everything I want to know. I might stage an event to extract it. It pays off / in the areas of my developments I'm interested in. I'm far from a Superman, rarely revealing anything, leaving it to myself, but I sense / I know / I see. You would see it too, or sense / if you invest your efforts. The lesson for you, probably the most important to understand, is that you're not born with the things you want predominantly. If you possess talents, they were all learned in your previous incarnations / lives, and your role is to enhance and use them for your goals / that is selling, etc. It's all learned. Similarly, as it doesn't matter, I've got 83.2151 after my friend left and I've gave the rest to my mother who bought a pomelo for me, and 1 item more. I always use 152 money wisely, and the most important knowledge you would ever read, implement and live up to forever. 89. Extracted sunflower lecithin, chocolate soap. Avoid to ever eat any products with extracted ingredients. Watch on organic foods, as they might kill you, if only overdosed. I've ceased to eat last traditional food, pesticide-infested, fruit because it tastes like shit, applied a new belief system, and because I've decided to / others would follow me, to eradicate this shit food from our planet. If nobody would buy it, nobody would produce. Either way, those who would choose them, their quality of life has already dropped significantly and they would die, in result. It's the only way to change reality / history. It can be simply achieved by telling other people a story, that they would die, if they would continue to eat those / choosing organic for yourself, pointing. It's better to eat 1 organic than 3 GMOs or 2 traditionals, pesticide-infested. Why? Read this book is a much better option. Somebody would be thankful, after time. Either way / karma. Number 1.2. If enough would follow, breaking their fears, it would instill a paranoia and the war is lost. Producers would have to adapt / or be bankrupt. But you have to take this choice now, to stop by anything except organic. Yes, you. Adding, it's your choice only. I would live / leaving it for you to eat. Either way, you would die, if you wouldn't select 100% organic foods. I just don't care / I select organic only, period. Everyone chooses for himself, but if you would tell to each and every client, the same story, Mr. You would DE if you select those slash eat organic, placing intonation emotion on the keyword slash it would surely cause a change. Imagine if it would continued, all time. They would probably start fist to think about it. Either way, they would die, if they choose anything except organic slash number 3.21. You shouldn't care. I've ceased to eat shit, now, to forever. I'm not so sure of it, of you. 153 Mind remembers slash as it's deeply embedded. 154 Any experience delivered that is by the process slash number 2, couldn't outweigh the trauma experienced in childhood. Nothing can be worse slash in the sense, every experience delivered, is better than the ones experienced back then. 155 Every pain, even the worst, is somehow compensated in this reality. Lesson: accept the pain, willingly. Order people to do the things I require to be able to get to my goals. In order to do everything with a success, she received a coin, as all that only matters is the preparations and knowledge ingested, which would allow me to become one. It doesn't matters what you have now. I'd never had a dad, he left her slash I understand him, fully. I've understood that everything that she told about him was only a mirror of her frustrations and problems she couldn't handle, a reflection of her. I don't know him. He has never visited me since childhood, but it was his choice. However, for me, I don't remember and never remember about anything which doesn't serve the goals, so it's all forgiven. I appreciate everything which has been done to further my agenda slash even if the pain was involved. It was only a method to reach the means end, for anyone. It's only important to me, all the rest is a history. He had beaten me and done the same that mommy did, only grandmother was kind enough slash my protector. I still cry 153 when I write those words and remember how it was then. It's known for me that because of those experiences, I've had the drives in place to succeed slash not everybody is so gifted. Those who haven't got worse, they don't appreciate what they receive from life, that there is anything which could help you to get the things you want. The trauma-based programming slash that is one used 154 by the Illuminati. Aside from the mistreatment, I've received early, private lessons from an English teacher as he moved upstairs in our block and music lessons on a keyboard, probably as a compensation of the moral guilt felt by mother slash which was perhaps 155 the real reason. It has all changed since it. I'm on the track to it, cracking all the possible goals encountered, fighting and overcoming all. I've achieved to this moment of time everything I've wanted. However, it doesn't matter. Priorities changed. School is a waste of time. It's a waste of life. In fact, the most wasted period of my life was everything from this point: private gymnasium, public high school. My mother never had the money, but she has scrambled to send me to a private school. Those probably $200 a month in a small city. It probably saved me pretty early from drugs, but I've had an occasion in the elementary school, first classes, where my friends smoked marijuana and harassed me and bombarded with each occasion to use it. I was scared, because I'd known little about it. I was more interested with a vibrator and wondered what's its use it, when they've smoked hash slash sensing the harsh smoke coming out the doors. The most important knowledge you would ever read, implement and live up to forever. 90. 156 Provided by the laws slash you've had to be dead, to not see it dash take it. 157 Truly, nobody hadn't spoke much during it. 158 Desired, to commit actually those mistakes slash or learn in any other means before. 159 If you do, take it too seriously. You might be the one who would hang himself if his savings would be lost slash or devalued, that is in a currency, stock market crash, that is plunge slash dollar. It can't be forbidden for you to base it on the reality visible, but it's better for you to take what really has a value, and those are not the money themselves slash they're an important tool for your survival, to achieve your goals, but nothing more. They're not worth the paper they're printed on, in reality. It's all contractual. The same is with gold or with any other commodity. Like approach would allow you to sleep well in nights, as you're with no fear of loss, because you've got the abilities and are prepared for everything, to rebuild your fortune, quickly, being a true reality. I've observed. I've learned through observation. I'd noticed they were motivated because of it / that is a strong contrast in comparison to others. It's not that I didn't smoked. I've used probably 30 different sorts of it, having possibly the highest 156 high you might imagine / where the veterans admitted it was a bomb and laughed about it 157 but not then. I personally hate marijuana, that is everything, but not it, but I preferred always something chemical. I don't do drugs anymore, they're too weak / I use only alcohol, when I must. In my job, I've had to develop a sense of paranoia with the same sense of inverse paranoia, just to survive the whole experiences, attacks, I was a target of. It's unthinkable to those who live beyond my reality and judge it from their point of view. I'd had to change my character and suit it to the goals, to persevere what was thrown at me. I've learned things / learned the likable personality traits and applied them to mine. I've performed underground in the cover of darkness for all those years, decades, with one in mind. You've believed it? I've always thought, I want to make all those mistakes early in life to avoid losses later. It doesn't matter that you've earned X or became Y when you've lost it all because of your stupidity or lack of knowledge. It's for me better to know everything and perpetuate now in life, even if it would take 3 decades. With successes, I always take the long road because it offers more potential and learning possibilities. I don't want success, if I'm unprepared for it and it's 158 accepted. I've got 625.2 now. It's all relative, it changes. I'm rich, because I've got food secured and I'm able to buy alcohol. It's all in the mind. It doesn't matters you've got none and want to be a billionaire. It doesn't matters where you are now, understand it. It's irrelevant to the goal. I've had thousands on a bank account and had 0, all in a period of time. It's what you believe in that counts. It can be based on the 159 reality, but it's better if it's not, as it might influence your decisions. Likely as being confident, you just / nobody cares, except you, you're the only person who is thinking about yourself more than anyone. Understand it right, once. It's all an illusion. Therefore, you shouldn't believe anything isn't possible, because you've got a scars on hands / that X thinks, believes you're Y / or that you're 120 years old, maybe without the last, you get it. It's all ludicrous that is any excuse, in the sense but people believe this shit and everyone is just checking whether the last person never ceased to, being afraid, in fear, of you having more than me or achieving more. Everyone passes this stage of excuses, by not everyone stays at them. Ask yourself honestly, isn't it ludicrous? That is the excuse you've believed. Look at it truly honestly, in a distanced way, stay as you are. You don't have to change, but did you seriously believed it? In what other you believe? In fact, goals are already for your pre-selected, even if you think you're choosing them of your own will. Your job is however understand them why you want them and take a choice to follow the process / that is to only define the scale of desires and wants, before. It all depends. The most important knowledge you would ever read, implement and live up to forever. 91. 160 Nobody has to admit to anything / no one has to know. Everyone starts as such, but few remain. In principle, it doesn't matters how you start, but how you end. Refuse to stay with those decaying beliefs of I can't, it's impossible, for me. They're for the other / next guy. 161 Your intelligence, character and results are basically determined by the beliefs, only / that is as effect of the programming. You can change all, in an instant / up to a year time. Those, used in number 0.1, are accepted by everyone, the 0 level ones. Use this brain programming, firstly, independent of your current/even, if the last, is, very, extremely, successful. Even to be more precise, environment has got nothing to do with it, as you have to change yourself first/that is what's in your mind, in order to experience the change outside, in your reality, surrounding. You would be moved by the laws themselves, when the change first would be accepted precisely by your subconscious, which might take time. All the rest is to be acquired the easiest way, hard initially/through following your fate. Number 2. 162 Despite no purposeful effort is ever lost/only time wasted, if not, took the fate/number 2. It's an experience. 163 For a symbolic price/to help redistribute it. Do it now. If you're an idiot/the unsuccessful guy/no one/wreckage/you name it/or you've never achieved anything real, of value/or you just acknowledge it could be better, is enough. It's only a result of your core 160, often unconscious beliefs. Number 2.51/change them, via the programming. Number 0.1. It would allow you to believe in self first. It doesn't matters where you are, it's all a result of the programming. Many are its victims. You have to approach it all with an open mind. 161. Find somebody who would do the work of finding those records for you. If you struggle, pay even someone for doing it. First and the foremost important lesson: you have to stop in life. Avoid responsibility. Take it. You're the only person responsible for everything that happens in your life, in reality, beyond the age of 7. Unless you won't stop to blame others for your carelessness, lack of thought preceding your actions, you would be trashed by the laws/all the time. You would be trashed by the people themselves. You would lose all. Think. Number 0.1. It's the first lesson to learn. Introduce it. Number 0.1. Immediately, now, to your life. Amber, there is nothing, with your lack of appropriate brain programming/number 0.1, for the success. Those are welcomed, who overcome or are in the way, to overcome, this programming, as of their own choice. It might change. When you set a goal in life, number 2, prize, everything starts to work for your favor. After time, you don't have to exercise yourself to seek for an ideas to be able to earn money. However, it's known that some have to pass those experiences. 162 First to believe. You're awarded with the task in mind to be able to realize it. It's all. When it comes, you just do what you have to, independent of any/are. Stick to it, up to the very end, until its completion, even if it involves a series of mini side tasks, to never stop believing in result. I accept everything, it doesn't matter where you are, all, which does matter, is whether you've got the conditions to accomplish your goals, and those are perfect in my case, always best suited to my goals. It's not said, they've didn't changed, as they did. I've lived in an apartments in the center of a major 250k new city town, somewhere abroad, in the world as it was required for the learning process to follow. They're all relative. None in this reality is random. Know it. Knowledge about the real mechanisms beyond those systems gives you power/therefore this work is important. Keep it, share/sell this work now, even 163 online, secure it immediately, all profit yours, always. It continued. The most important knowledge you would ever read, implement and live up to forever.